Marvel movies are more homework than entertainment.
Lately,
there are notes for this story. I'll bring it up here, but from the Wall Street Journal, Disney wanted more from Marvel. Now it wants less.
69.
The superhero studio is cutting back TV production and fixing its film slate after fans lost the plot. So, Badger, if you would, there are notes for this.
The Wall Street Journal.
Fake
What?
news.
It is.
Kevin Feige, the longtime head of Marvel Studios, is leading a major reset of the Marvel Cinematic Universe after years of rapid expansion led to both fans and insiders Marvel fatigue, the Marvel fatigue. Once the architect of an unprecedented box office empire, Feige found himself overwhelmed by the sheer volume of interconnected content Marvel produced for Disney Plus, which he admitted began to feel more like homework than storytelling. In trying to satisfy Disney's streaming ambitions, Marvel pushed out too much content too quickly, leading to confusion, declining quality, and a loss of audience enthusiasm. He also said he wanted to be a responsible corporate citizen. So tell me what that means. As viewers grew frustrated with the complexity and volume of the MCU, Feige and his team found themselves stretched thin, struggling to maintain their trademark storytelling cohesion. Once celebrated projects floundered, high-budget flops mounted, and fans began tuning out. Internally, Marvel executives worried they had created a no new fans club where catching up felt like a chore. Now, Feige is scaling back. Marvel is drastically reducing its TV output, making stories more standalone and recentering its effort on theatrical films. He's overhauling the next phase of Avengers movies, replacing the scrapped Kang storyline with Avengers Doomsday, starring fan favorite Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. It's a return to basics and a bid to revive fan excitement and undo the damage caused by content overload. In many ways, Feige's new plan is a reset to the strategy that first made Marvel a cultural phenomenon, hoping that less content done better will cure Marvel's fatigue and restore its dominance.
What do we think about this? Feige's coming out and saying what we've all thought, a lot of us. It feels like homework. I'll say for myself, having read comics over the years, that has been a turnoff. When I'm coming in and I got to get history of what happened before, where I'm coming into the middle of something, there's a reason why things like Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, which I actually love that DC series.
It was great.
The first time in the 80s, I loved it. You could read just the 12, the crossover. It was great. It got me reading comics again. It wiped the slate clean. It led to a new Man of Steel comic series for Superman. It led to Dark Knight Returns, among other things, and different ways of looking at the universe. And so it's actually been a turnoff for me for the comics in the past. I don't want to have to know all this stuff. I want to come in, hear a story, be inspired. If it connects, it's fine. It's optional. It's bonus.
I just want to say that I'm thankful that the mainstream media has finally caught up to discussing something that we've been talking about for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what's really lacking in this article, what they're missing out on, is Bob Iger launched Disney Plus, and the anchors of Disney Plus, whether it was rightly or wrongly done, it was Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and suddenly you had both Marvel and Lucasfilm now had to create enormous amounts of additional content that they were planning to create, and Disney was relying upon them. And it's not like they didn't just get a bigger brain trust. And you look at some of those Marvel shows. I mean, I was really looking forward to Secret Invasion, but the final version was terrible. I mean, Moon Knight's one of my favorite characters, and they destroyed Moon Knight and made it utterly ridiculous. And the thing is, you can't expect Marvel became Marvel. The MCU became what it was because those movies were thoughtfully produced. They had really great filmmakers behind them who were synergistically working with the studio together. You know, when Joss Whedon was there, he made 2 Avengers movies with Marvel. James Gunn worked in tandem with Marvel. The Russo brothers worked in tandem with Marvel. Everybody knew what they were doing. They had a story group designing what stories they were going to tell, and it all held together. And suddenly people just thought, oh, if we slap a Marvel name on it, then it's going to be successful.
Robert, isn't that where it went off the rails? Is because everyone had a showrunner, and James Gunn was supposed to be in charge of the space saga, and then he got removed for all the reason he got removed, and they never replaced that visionary.
I'm sure that was absolutely part of it. And they had suddenly you have to start making 6 different things. They were making 3 and then maybe 4 movies
and
a year.
Kevin can't spin all those plates and pay attention to all of them.
Yeah, and you can't do that. And everyone's looking around going, what went on? I mean, what went on is that you suddenly had to make twice as much stuff as you were making with the same group of people. And you can't do that. And that was just people being greedy. And you couldn't launch a network figuring that Marvel and Star Wars were going to save you or make your network happen.
Well, I think with the Disney Plus TV shows, one thing, because I remember when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was affected by the movies. I think where they got lost is the movies can affect the TV shows. The TV shows should never have an impact on events in the movies. And that's what was happening is all these Disney Plus shows affected things that happened in the movies, whether it was introducing characters, whatnot. There was so you should not behold the movies to TV events. It should be the other way around.
The TV shows should have been thought of like a miniseries, a comic book miniseries, which, you could get a Punisher miniseries, you could get a Vision and Scarlet Witch miniseries, and gone off. I mean, you do WandaVision and make that really interesting, which they did. But then, of course, then they launched new characters from WandaVision that suddenly, you have Miss Marvel and I guess Polaris in a major motion picture. And if you haven't watched a Disney Plus show, who are those 2 women that are with Carol Danvers? You're expecting people just to know?
I think when it's crossing over into a different medium altogether, the TV medium should stick. If you're going to do a spinoff, it should stick to the TV medium verse, like how they did with Netflix Defenders, I guess. They introduced everyone there. But once you cross into a whole new medium, you shouldn't expect people to go back and forth to films and TV. Just know it's like so big and convoluted at this point. You can't expect people to do homework if you can't even do it.
Can't wait to see Mandalorian and Grogu.
By the way, meanwhile, James Gunn has said he's doing the same thing, where whenever possible, the same people that played in live action will play it in the animated or play it in the games. It's like the interconnected thing is great, but in all practices, it's just unrealistic.
It shouldn't be beholden. I mean, although I did like when Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock showed up in No Way Home, that got a cheer. I thought that was great.
But that was used very effectively.
Yes.
Really well done.
It was logical. Yeah.
I'm a great lawyer.
I'm a great lawyer.
Yeah. So
what bothers me is the brain trust at a company the size of Disney was so much on the line. Why aren't they sensing and figuring this stuff earlier and doing course connections earlier? Or have they laid out the plan so far in advance that it's like turning the Titanic around?
Yeah.
Both.
Honestly,
Don't they always have
I
like those
feel
giant
like
boards, where they have all of these movies laid out. This is what's coming in phase 4, 5, and 6, and they do that like at every Comic Con. And so that's the plan being laid out 3, 4, 5, 6 years in advance. And so they do have it like that, Paul, where you can't change because you've already said we're going to drop. Well, I mean, I guess with Avengers, Kang Dynasty was supposed to come out this Friday and it didn't. But we have all of these various movies that have been promised to us for years ahead of time. And, hey, it's here. Are we going to change it? Are we going to stop? Are we going to move forward? Are we going to move backwards? What are we going to do? They do have way too much in the pipeline, or they've set things up in the pipeline that they probably shouldn't have. And now it's too late to turn the thing around. And so now here we are. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is coming to a close. In my opinion, this is a dead duck. We're not going to see anything get better from here until they, put it into this universe. Secret Wars, that's it. Reboot, go to X-Men, and maybe they can save the the MCU that way.